the lead-in is that Swami Ishadhyanananda ji has been an assistant minister of the Vedanta Society of Sacramento since August 2017. Before coming to America, Swamiji served the order at the Jamshedpur branch of the Ramakrishna mission for about 4 years. Prior to that, he was posted at Belur Math headquarters office from 2008 to 13. Swamiji joined the Ramakrishna order in 2002. He was initiated by Swami Ishadhyanananda ji, the 15th president of the, hopefully I said that correct, the 15th president of the Ramakrishna order, and received his final monastic vows from his guru in 2012.
So let's do it a peace chant which is known to all of you. Sahana Bhavatu. We'll do together, okay? Let's do. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Om, may the all-pervading Spirit protect us. May the all-pervading Spirit nourish us. May we work together with great energy. May our study be fulfilling. May love and harmony dwell amongst us. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto all. Namaste, good evening. Very glad to be here after 7 years. 7 years. So I came here in 2019 when I was there just 1.5 years old in US. Now I am the 9th year, little bit more confident. So today I will talk about something very practical, which is how to rise above the problems of the world. How can we rise above life's problems? Everybody has problems, right? So I think it will be helpful. So I joined the monastic order about 25 years ago when I was 23. And soon after joining, I felt such a peace in the monastic life. And I also had a very naive idea that now there is no family problems, no career competition, no financial worries. So life of a monk will be free of problems. So it was a naive idea, very naive. What I found very soon was surprising. I found problems followed me to monastery. Problems followed me to the monastery. And in the hindsight, it appears those are very petty problems. So what I did, I went to the Swami in charge, who is a very wonderful monk. You know, he inspired me to become a monk. I mean, seeing him, I felt what a life could be. So I went to him and I told him, these are the problems I am facing. He listened to me with full attention, and then he told me a Zen story. Zen stories, you know, they have multiple levels of meanings. So he said, there is a Zen monastery up in the mountains, and the rule was this: anybody who wants to join there as a monk, they can speak only 2 words every 10 years. You are allowed to speak only 2 words after every 10 years. So one novice joined there. He passed 10 years and went to the abbot, the head of the monastery, and said, bed hard. Bed hard. So the abbot heard it, and that's it. Then he went back, continued his monastic life. Again, after 10 years, he came and said, "Food bad." The abbot heard it. He went away. He was asked to, okay, go. So he went, he tried 10 years more, and then he came back and told the abbot, "I quit." The abbot said, "I knew from the very beginning all that you did was complaining. I knew you won't be able to live this life." So this was a joke, Zen joke. After saying this joke, he told something. My monk, the Swami in charge whom I went to, which has stayed with me. He said, "You get upset with these little problems and you want to be a monk?" This much he said. And the value of it, I am appreciating more and more. Okay. So what I found over the 25 years of monastic life, problems never get solved. One set of problems are replaced by another set of problems. Problems are never obliterated. Problems remain. They come in different forms, even for monks, even in monasteries. But what I have also noticed, that great spiritual seekers, they also have problems. They also undergo problems. Illness, misunderstanding, criticism, failure, but they remain calm in the midst of all the problems. How? The answer, it appears to me, by noticing them, observing them, is they don't try to eliminate problems from their life, but they learn to rise above the problems. That is, the problems remain, but they don't let the problems dominate their inner life. That is how they can rise above the problems. So in this talk today, I would like to share with you some of my views, some of my ideas, what I have seen, what I have felt about how we can rise above the problems. First of all, what I realize is, as I said, problems will remain. We think that we'll get peace of mind when all the problems will be solved. Let this problem be solved, then only I will get peace of mind. But it does not happen. Swami Vivekananda said, problems are like joint pain. From ankle to knee, knee to shoulder, shoulder to neck, it keeps on moving. Problems never get solved. They remain. And why? It's philosophical. In Brahma Sutra introduction, Shankaracharya says, Sattva Anita Mithuni Kritta Ayam Loka Vyavahara. This world, by its very nature, is a mixture of Sat and Asat. Sat and Asat can be interpreted in different ways. One is no problem and problems. So the world, the nature, by very nature, the fabric of the world, or matrix. I forgot I gave this talk, but thank you for reminding me that I gave a talk on matrix. The matrix of this universe is such that it is built into this very nature of the world. There will be problems. This is a reality we have to embrace. We have to embrace this reality, that problems will remain. There is a wonderful saying in Sanskrit, Ya richati harim smartum vyaparantar gatairevi samudre shanto kallole snatu michhati durmati. One who thinks, I will think about God, I will enter into spiritual life, I will meditate only when problems have been solved, that person is as good as the person who is standing on the beach and thinking, I will take a bath in the ocean when all the waves will subside. Waves will never subside, so problems similarly there will never come a time when there will be no problem. So the idea that we will be at peace only when problems will be solved is not true. It is we have to change our relationship with the problems. So problems will remain. For me, I joined in a wonderful monastery. Then I went to Belur Math, which is called the heaven. Many people say, heaven. If there is a heaven in earth, this is Belur Math. After working for 7 years in Belur Math, I found problem in Belur Math. I prayed to Sri Ramakrishna, send me to a place where these problems are absent. I was sent to a place, indeed those problems were absent, but a different sets of problems. Then I prayed to Sri Ramakrishna, send me to a place where these problems are absent. I was sent to Sacramento. Those problems were absent, but some new types of problems. So problems will always be there. We might think problems will be solved if I get a promotion in my job. Yes, we may get a promotion, then we see more stress, more anxiety. Earlier you were coding, now you have to manage people. More stressful. One might think after retirement all the problems will be solved. New sorts of problems come up. New types of dynamics, loneliness, all of these things come up. So, first thing is problems will remain. We have to embrace this fact. Second is sometimes problems feels overwhelming because it appears to be very large. We don't know such big problems. So at that time, if we can break down the problems into smaller chunks, it helps. Because our mind cannot comprehend something very big challenge, a big problem. But if we can break it down to workable parts, the problem gets easier. For example, before coming to this country, I had no experience of public speaking. And first public speaking I started here. And you can imagine my situation. So what I did, I was taking feedback from the audience of Sacramento. And in Sacramento, we are mostly 80% are Americans, 20% non-resident Indians. So they started giving me feedback on content, on delivery, on pronunciation, accent, throw, intonation, cadence. I was in trouble. What to work on? What to work on? Then I realized I cannot work on all of these at a time. I have to take one thing at a time and then I have to work. Then it became manageable. So what appeared to be overwhelming problem of public speaking gradually became more manageable. Similarly, if sometimes a problem comes and vague, we don't know, it is appearing to be big, can we break down into smaller parts? In psychology, this is called chunking. Chunking, In fact, Navy SEALs use this method. Navy SEALs work in different conditions, and you know how difficult conditions they work on. So they have this technique, take a problem and break down into different manageable problems. Then our mind can comprehend the problem and tangible problem and tangible solution. So this is the second thing I have found in my life. When we find problems, can we break down into different manageable parts? That helps. Third Third is separating in our mind what is in our control, what is not in my control. What is in my control, what is not in my control. Many times we mix them up. We try to solve things which are not in my control. We worry about those things which are not in my control. Take the example of this talk, right? What is in my control? I can think about this talk. I may think how to deliver it so that people can understand better. How can I make my talk clearer? How can I make it flow smoothly? All of these are in my control. What is not in my control? All of you, whether you like it or not in my control. Some of you may not like it. Some of you may even get offended by something I say. That is not in my control. But if I keep on thinking about those issues which are not in my control, so I will be dealing with a problem which I cannot do anything about. This is important in today's time because the whole world, if you open social media and news, politics, so many things are happening and people get frustrated, angry, outraged about things of the world. War, economic meltdown, politics. We have to think in all of it, what is in my control? What is in my control? Many devotees approach me, Swami, we are feeling so frustrated, so outraged, and so bad about how people are being treated. Violation of basic human rights. What can I do? I said, double down. Double down. If you think that kindness is in demand, people are not being treated kindly by the government, you start treating people kindly. In your own life, you try to be an extra kind to a stranger. You try to be more compassionate in your day-to-day life. Otherwise, if we can keep on thinking about the problems which are not in our control, you know the situation in psychology, we feel helpless. We feel we don't have any agency. And that's a recipe for depression. Prolonged sense of helplessness and worry about things which are not in my control is sure recipe for depression. Rather, think in these difficult situations, what is happening around us, if it is happening around us, what I can do in my small ways. Can I be little more compassionate, kind and loving to my team members in the work, in the strangers I come across, the neighbor, with my neighbors? That is in our control. That is in our control. So, that is one thing. About many problems, we forget to distinguish between what is in my control, what is not in my control. I am a single small person. My compassion, my kindness, how does it will make a difference? It makes a difference. There is such a thing called ripple effect. Ripple effect. You become little kind to one person, that person will become kinder to two people. That two people can become more kind to four people. This is called ripple effect. So we may not solve the problem at the societal level, at the national level, at the international level, but we can do in our vicinity, right? So we have to then think about it. Under all of these problems, what is in my control? What I can do about it? You will feel a sense of agency. Yes, I can make a difference. With my co-workers, with my colleagues, with my neighbors, with strangers, I meet in the grocery store, I can be a little more kind, more compassionate. It is in my control, right? So this is one thing. Fourth thing I will say, embracing our limitations. we human beings try to think, love to think that we are omnipotent. We can solve all the problems. We can't. We can't really, because there are constraint of time, constraint of resources, constraint of energy, constraint of authority. We may not have. We may know sometimes how to solve a problem, but I don't have the time to devote to solve those problems, societal problems. I may not have the authority to solve. Many people tell me, right, that the solution of global problem is only this. What is happening? The solution is very simple. This has to be done. Well, we know, but do you have authority to implement that? We don't have. So it may appear to be disadvantageous, or that what? Should we embrace our limitations? Yes. Yes. We are limited beings. We are limited beings at many levels. We don't have unlimited power, unlimited time, unlimited energy, or unlimited resources. So the more easily or quickly we can embrace our limitations, it is more liberating. At first it may feel painful. What? We are limited beings. We cannot solve all the problems. But if we can embrace that not all the problems I can solve, it is liberating. It's liberating. This is the fourth point. Fifth point, I would like to say that many problems in the outside world, let them be there. Let not them poison our mind. Poison our mind. By that what I mean, imagine our mind to be a house, okay? And we cannot control the temperature outside. Sometimes it is so cold, too hot. What we can do? Control the temperature of the house. Similarly, there are many problems which are all around us. Let them be there. In our inner life, let our inner life be safe from them. By that what I mean is, we already have many problems in our life, right? But now, thanks to internet, social media, problems all the time, 24/7, you have breaking news. War here, economic meltdown there, Strait of Hormuz blocked. So the thing is, all of these problems become toxic to our mind. And all this toxic news, outrageous news, which are meant to keep us perpetually outraged. You know the psychology behind it, right? That the more we remain outraged, more frustrated, more depressed, the more we go to the news channels. So these are beneficial to the news channels and Silicon Valley. It's not beneficial to us. Okay. So the thing is, when we consume lot of toxic news, we are not able to process all of this toxic information. What happens is, this makes us very much anxious, outrageous. As a solution, what we do? We go again to see what happened next. 10 people were killed. Now let me see how many more people were killed. So this loop goes on. We are not solving any problem by seeing, consuming all of this. As I say, there was an Oscar movie which got Oscar. Everything, everywhere, all the time, right? Now everything, everywhere, all at once. So our news is like this now. Everything we are getting from whole world everywhere what is happening all at once. So the idea is to remain sane, and moreover, for a spiritual seeker, we should try to keep our mind, sane, protected from all of this. Swami Ishadhyanananda, who was a great Swami in San Francisco, he did not used to allow any newspaper, any letter to enter into his bedroom. He will say, I will deal with all the problems of the ashrama, and San Francisco Vedanta Society is a huge organization. If you don't know, I will deal with when I go to office, but nothing should come to my bedroom. Because when I am entering my bedroom, all the problems are there. Now I want to be alone with God. Similarly, we have to mentally make a space between all the things that are happening, toxic things happening. We were never meant as an evolutionary being to process so much of toxic news. Okay. So by that, so then what can we do? I tell others, limit consumption of toxic news. We already have problems in our life. Don't bring extra problems. They will be all the time. If you want to know problems of the world, it is just one click away. So limit your consumption. I tell people after dinner till breakfast, don't use your smartphone. Don't use media at all during these 12 hours. Okay, and news get only from trusted media. Don't consume news from WhatsApp, Facebook, social media. Anything that comes free, don't consume. I tell you, I am not a role model, but what I am telling you, I consume only those media which I pay for. When I will not be able to pay, I will not consume. I pay New York Times, I read New York Times. I pay for Atlantic, I read Atlantic. I pay for Scientific American, I read Scientific American. That's it. Enough of it. And I watch PBS NewsHour in the evening. Why? It does not raise your blood pressure. It serves news the way news should be served. Now, news are served in a way like an entertainment, and mostly in a toxic way. It is not for our good. Remember this. So, what we have to do? We have to safeguard our own mind. Remember one thing, offline activity does not remain offline. It seeps into, it percolates into our offline activity. If we consume online all these outrageous news, they affect our offline also. So, if we want to keep peace of mind, if we want to deal with problems, real problems, don't invite toxic news too much into your life. That is one way of dealing with problems. Okay. Don't bring extra problems. Okay. Next point I would like to share, that problems are good. Problems are good. Swami Vivekananda said, we learn from good times and bad times, but we learn more from bad times. Similarly, we learn more from dealing with problems. Dealing with problems are like flexing our muscles. Nobody likes to first do workout. What is workout? Challenging our muscles, right? Giving pain to our muscles. Who would like to do that? But we know that giving pain to our muscles, going beyond our comfort zone, is helpful for our muscles. Similarly, problems in the long run are good for us. Problems makes us resilient. A few years ago, Jonathan Haidt, the New York University psychologist, wrote a phenomenal book, The Coddling of American Mind. The Coddling of American Mind. In that book, he argued that generation after generations, American parents are trying to make their kids' life safer. So they are trying to shield their children from facing problems. How comfortable I can make my child's life so that they don't have to face many problems. And the result is coddling of the mind. When they grow up, when they face real problems, they find they are anxious. They cannot face the problems because they were not exposed to dealing with their problems. Parents were always jumping to solve their problem. Snowplow parenting, helicopter parenting, yeah, all of these. So I will solve kids' problems so that their life becomes safe. No. The muscle that is needed to solve problems are getting weaker. So similarly, problems we may not like, but problems actually make us resilient. Not only that, problems make us better human beings. Better human beings. When we face problem, then we can become more compassionate about others' problems. People who are born with silver spoon, they cannot feel others' problems because they have not gone through those problems. In my own life, I have seen when I went for begging, rich people refused to give food. One rich person let the dog loose after me. And whereas when I went to beg for food, poorest of the poorest, who is making one meal for the day, that is the whole meal, they wanted to share all of the meal with me. Why? Because they have gone through problems of hunger. And they can feel what it means to be hungry. They are much more compassionate than their rich neighbors. So problems are good in a way. It makes us better human being. It makes us resilient. It makes us compassionate. This is a good advantage of problems. Okay. Now, a different dimension altogether, that is how to transcend problems. Okay. One way is how to make the problems appear smaller is to shift our perspective. Shift our perspective. That is, when I was flying yesterday from Las Vegas to Cleveland, I did not have a direct flight. I had to come through Las Vegas, and I did not get the aisle seat. I got a window seat. So when I was flying, so Cleveland, right? When you go drive around Cleveland, huge buildings, even Las Vegas, huge buildings from the ground, from the flight, tiny. They appear tiny. Oh, this is Las Vegas, and people make such a big deal about it. Similarly, sometimes if we enlarge our perspective, the same problems which were appearing to be big appear smaller. So how can we shift perspective? I say there are two ways. This lesson I got from a monk, senior monk. Many years ago, I got to spend some time at the river of Narmada in India, in a kutia hut. And there was a senior monk. We were studying Vedanta together, and he told me that anytime you find problems in your life, try to shift the perspective. That is, try to see it in a larger dimension, a larger perspective. And this larger perspective can be both temporal and spatial. Temporal means after 10 years, how this problem will affect me. What this problem will mean to me after 10 years or 5 years, 15 years. And in our own life, we have seen, many things which bothered us, which kept us awake at night. Now we have even forgotten what was the problem. Is not it? We have to think hard. What was the problem that kept me awake for nights? We have forgotten. So if we can, expand the temporal scale, 10 years, 15 years, we find many of the problems are not worth the time and energy we are spending thinking about those problems. Not solving the problems, I am telling, thinking about the problems. We keep on thinking about the problems, but in 10 years' time, 15 years' time, in that perspective, this problem may be a very tiny one. So should we spend so much of valuable time, attention, energy in these problems? I like to meditate on death, every day after waking up, I try to think, imagine this is the last day. How would I like to spend my day? My priorities become clear. And I am not fantasizing, right? It is not a fantasy. Someday there will be a last day. And on that day, in any deathbed, no one has complained about the problems. If you look at the stories, people what they speak in the deathbed, they never tell about the problems they had. They always speak about human love, connection. Spiritual people will talk about, I wish I could spend more time in spiritual practice, in contemplation. So these are the priorities of our life. These are the priorities of our life. If we think about these, and how many days we live? 4,000 weeks. If you take 80 years as human life, 4,000 weeks. And how many weeks we have passed? I have passed more than half of that. So rest of these 4,000 weeks, less than 2,000 weeks left, how do I have to spend my life? Thinking about global problems, which I cannot do anything about, or priorities, which will be uppermost in my mind on my last day. So this is called changing the perspective from a temporal point of view. Then there is spatial point of view. That is, many times problems appear to be overwhelming when we think that I am the only one having problems. And this is especially true for country like America. Isolation is a big problem. Isolation makes a problem appear larger. We think my friends and others are having a wonderful time. They are having a problem-free life. I am the one who is suffering. It is not so. It is not so. So if we talk to real friends and talk to trusted people, everybody is going through problem. Sometimes their problem is so big, we feel ashamed that I was thinking about such petty problems. There is such a thing called first world problems, right? Wi-Fi is weak. I'm unhappy. Wi-Fi is weak. I'm unhappy. Netflix is not buffering well. I'm unhappy. The movie is not running on 4K. These are problems in first world. Some people could not eat for last 7 days. Some people could not sleep because they had no shelter. This is called common humanity. If we think about these things that others are going through, not others means not distant people, people who are our nearby people, friends, trusted people, and talk to them, share with them our problems, we will find that my problem is not such a big deal. This is called common humanity. That is, everybody is having problems at different levels. Probably I am going through a problem which is at the financial level. Somebody is going through a physical level. It's terrible suffering one may be having at the physical level. Someone may be having a crisis at the mental level, a deep anxiety or depression they are suffering from. Somebody may be having a crisis at the spiritual level. All of us are suffering. This is the reality. Everybody is dealing with some problem. If we can think like this, then it is called changing of perspective. I am not the only one who is having problem. So what happens then? The problem which was appearing to be, such overwhelming appears to be smaller. Just like the buildings of Las Vegas, which were appearing to be gigantic, just became smaller from the flight. Similarly, problems when we can see in a larger dimension of time and space, they lose their overwhelming capacity. Okay, so that is one thing. How can we change our perspective? How can we? Then other point is, if we don't have a direction in life, every problem will unsettle us. If we don't have an overarching goal in life, a higher goal in life, problems will always overwhelm us. If a marathon runner does not have in their mind the 26.2 miles or 5 miles, 10 miles, rather concentrate on the pain that is coming from running, she cannot run. Similarly, all the problems will appear to us bigger than what they are if we don't have a higher goal in our life. Higher goal in our life. A higher pursuit in our life. Swami Ishadhyanananda ji was our president. He was also general secretary. And general secretary of our organization is like CEO of an organization. And our organization is a fishbone structure. That is, any of the 2000 monks can call the general secretary and tell their problems. Plus institutional problems, government level problems, legal problems. This is what a general secretary has to go through in his office hours, even beyond office hours. Swami Ishadhyanananda ji, when he was general secretary, what he did, apart from solving all these problems, he translated all the Shankara's commentaries from Sanskrit to English of all the Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita, which are now taught in all universities of the world. Because most authentic translation of all the commentaries of all the Upanishads of Shankara's commentary. That he did sitting on that table. That is, his mind he kept on a higher level, at a higher pursuit. So problems came, he solved, but he went immediately back to the higher pursuit of scriptural study, deep thinking. So if we don't have a overarching goal in our life, a place where we would like to go, then problems will feel like, just haphazard. They are coming and chaotic. But if we know where we would like to go, then we will find these problems are just minor detours. They are not exits. We know where we would like to go. We know where we want to go. And this is, we see anyone who has a passion for something, a music or reading or playing an instrument, in the midst of all the problems you will see, they go back to their passion. By that, the problems remain in their place, but the problems don't become an overwhelming problem for them. Overwhelming problem for them. So we have to keep, and for spiritual seekers, what could be the bigger goal than God realization? Such a wonderful goal. Realize God, realize our divine nature. Can any goal in the world match with this super goal? Such a sublime goal. If we can keep that goal, bright, burning in front of us, we'll find problems are there, but they cannot unsettle us. It's a minor detour, but we know where we'd like to go, what is worth our energy, time, and attention. So that is the one thing. Then another is, even if we cannot remember God all the time or our higher goal, let us try to keep our mind at a higher level by reading really thought-provoking books of people, real people who have gone through difficulties and how they have solved their problems, books that let us go into the deeper realities of life, which make us think about the depth of life, the beauty of life. Otherwise, mind invents problems. If we don't keep our mind at a higher level, purposefully, it tries to go down. It's a simple law of physics, thermodynamics, entropy. Things, including our mind, tries to run into chaos. So leave your mind for 10 minutes. You will see it is either thinking nonsense things or started worrying about all the problems that could be there. It is the nature of the mind. Holy Mother said that, son, this is the nature of the mind. It tries to go down like water. And it is law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics, entropy will be increasing. But if we can keep it up, and for that effort is needed. Reading serious books is not a fun, is not an entertainment, is not a dopamine hit, is not a stimulation of seeing a reel after reel or short after short. It requires serious engagement, attention, energy, and engagement. That means we can keep our mind at a higher level. Then we will see that problems have lost their overwhelming nature. Keep our mind at a higher level. Finally, the devotee's way, the bhakta's way. The devotee, how they take Kunti in Mahabharata. She said, when Sri Krishna asked Kunti, what do you want? I can give you whatever you want. Kunti said, Lord, always keep me in troubles. When I am in trouble, then only I think about you. So keep me in trouble so that I can remember you. Our Swahanandaji of Hollywood used to say, as long as there will be problem, people will think about God. In good time, fun time, we forget God. So problems, in a way, is God's gift to let us think about God. So devotee way is, I don't know why God gave me this problem. Probably there is a bigger plan. Probably God wants to teach me some lesson. And if we are, alert, the problem, no matter how unsurmountable it is, how difficult it is, can teach us something. No matter how difficult problem. So probably God wants to teach me some lesson from these problems, and I will try to do my best to solve these problems and leave rest unto God. And this is what I could solve, rest you take. And Sri Ramakrishna said, God is a good person. The bhalo manush, he is a good person, so you can trust. If you can trust God, that God will help you to solve the problems, or problems which I could not solve entirely, I give it to a good person to take care of. So God can really take care of. So what is the takeaway message? Takeaway message is this, that problems will always remain. There will never come a time when there will be no problem. What we have to do is, we have to change our relationship with the problems. our relationship, our thinking, our reframing the problems is in our hand. Then we have to remember that problems can be sometimes broken down into smaller chunks. Many a times that helps. Then some problems are within our control, some are not. What things which are in my control, what can I do about them? This is in my control. Otherwise, rising above problems may appear to be escaping. Oh, hey, it says a problem, what can I do? No, there may be something I can do about it. What is that I can do? Can I do it? So that is in my control. That gives me agency. Sometimes we have to also embrace our limitations, that not all of the problems we can solve, right? Then we have to remember the fact problems are good. Problem teaches us something, makes us stronger. Nietzsche, philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said that does not kill you, makes you stronger. What does not kill you makes you stronger. So problems also makes us stronger, better human being and compassionate human being. So problems has their value. Sometimes we need to shift our perspective. When we find a problem, especially a obstinate problem which is going on, can we shift our perspective in terms of time, years, 10 years, 15 years, at the end of my life, how this problem will occur, how in the hindsight, how this problem will look to me. And especially means connecting with others. People, common humanity, everybody is suffering from problems. So if we can share with trusted friends and then come to know that others are also having problems in their life, then problems will be there. Can we keep problems in their places and our inner sanctuary, the temple of our heart, free from all the poisons that we can avoid, those are being hurled at us at a speed of Tetris. How many of you have played Tetris? At the end, what happens? The bricks fall so fast. Same way, information is being presented to us in a way that makes us outrageous, in a way to make us feel depressed, so that we can keep on consuming all those things. So, knowing all of this, can we keep our heart, our inner sanctum, purer, cleaner, saner from all these problems that is happening around? Then, can we keep the goal of our life bright in our mind? Where we would like to go ultimately? What is the purpose of our life? What is the true meaning of our life? What we are doing with our life? If we can keep all these questions burning in our mind, we'll find problems will appear much smaller than they appear to us if we don't have a goal, overarching goal in life. And can we keep our mind at a higher level by reading things which are elevating, spiritual books that make us think about deeper things about life? Then books which have become immortal, time-tested books. These things keep our mind higher from the problems. And finally, as a devotee, can we take the problems as a gift from God? That we don't know, feeling it is hurting, surely it is hurting, but can we take them that God has a plan for us to teach through these problems? Can we try to do our best and leave everything else into the hand of God? And in the midst of problems, can we remember God? That will be a great way of looking at the problems. So, this is not a very spiritual topic, I think, but I think it was something you can take from some ideas which I have seen in great people and observed in my own life. Okay, thank you. I will happy to take your questions or hear your comments about it. Okay. Yeah,
I have a simple question. You said that when we'll be in a problem, we have to concentrate to the higher goals of the life. Then we can overcome the problem. That is the gist. So what is the higher goals?
Higher goal could be many. For us, a spiritual seeker, realizing God is the highest goal. For some person, maybe becoming a better person every day, becoming a best version of themselves as a human being. That could be a higher goal. Becoming more compassionate for others. That could be a higher goal.
Okay, thank you.
It can take many shapes.
Everyone is not Bengali, but in our Bengali language, there is a very equal kind of poetry. Bipode more rokha karo,
Inahemor
prarthana, bipode ami nayana puri hoy, dukkota pathito chite naiba dile shantana, bipode ami korite pari jaya.
Yes. Tagore's song.
Yeah, Tagore's song.
So what is the meaning of that poetry? Or she itself?
Oh, it was a prayer to God that, oh Lord, my prayer is not to save me when I am in trouble, but give me strength so that I can conquer all of it. I don't want consolation in problems, but make me stronger so that I can face the problems squarely. This is a song, Tagore's,
So there's the end of a scripture. One thing I learned, there was may victory over my problems bear witness to those I may help of thy God's power way in the way of life. So my victory over that problem going to help the person next to me and think about other things rather than earthly problems. Now you're thinking about bigger things and helping other people and each other.
Yes.
Yeah, so trust is a good thing too, trusting the people you share with.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Swamiji, since you touched on so much of psychology, just from what we have seen, people go and see people with problems and come back with relief rather than compassion, saying, she's going through so much, thank God we are safe. I don't know how he or she could go through this. Instead of, so such people, it's a common observation.
Yeah.
So there is a saying that you have to melt for others' problems.
Right.
And not try to say that, people often come to say that my problem is bigger than yours. It's nothing. What your problem is nothing.
Yeah.
We are belittling their suffering, don't you think?
This is the nature of some type of people who will do anyway what you are telling,
It is
It's
very often. So many people who are sick, they don't want people to come visit them because why did this happen to you? You are so good, you did prayers and still this happened to you. Or some, it's all, there is a lot of ignorance and all that, of course, but nowadays people shy away from sharing problems because of this wrong feedback.
We have to be, little judicious about with whom we can share problems, who are trustworthy people, people who always want to show they are fine, they have no problems, so they are not trustworthy. People who bear everything out, I have problems, I have good things also, they are trustworthy one,
And then they also add a thing like, she must have done something bad because all bad things are happening to her. But I know that this person is also going through bad things. But we cannot say that, look, you are also going through this. It's not just her.
Right.
We are all going through this, as you
Right.
said. But as it's just a human psychology that is.
Yeah,
You said
absolutely.
compassion, that is
Yes.
so important. It was a very spiritual lecture according to me.
Okay,
It
thank
was
you.
not- It was very nice, yeah, thank you.
Swamiji,
Yes.
say just one
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Regarding problems or problem solving, there is always philosophy that try to detach yourself from the problem, and so you are not part of the problem, so you can look at the solution. Because
Right.
if you remain attached with the problem, you are part of the problem and you never find a solution, and that kind of
Yes.
involves your mind and brain, everything,
Yeah.
emotions a lot in the problem. That becomes the main problem of the frustration, right? You are
Yes.
not able to get out.
Be a witness to the problem.
Yeah. So it's very easy to say. It's a
Yes.
philosophy, it's very easy to give it
Right,
to somebody
right,
or say.
right.
But detachment
Yes.
is an
Very different.
art, right? You have to practice that and get into that detachment more. When you are in problem,
Right.
as you said, that Swamiji, your guru, used to say that, okay, I don't want to get that newspaper in my bedroom because I don't want the problems coming inside the bedroom.
Right.
That is the art of detachment,
Right,
right?
right.
So when you are in a problem,
Right.
normally all the people, everybody, as you said, has a problem or have some problems to work on. How to practice that detachment to keep yourself while getting into the bedroom, that problem should not be coming with you. At a normal
Yes.
human beings who
Yes.
are not that much detached like you or other Swamijis who try to easily go away or detach themselves from that world. So
Yes.
what you would like to suggest us?
Yeah, one great thing which helps me, I journal. I write down. If something is bothering me so much, I cannot detach. I take a pen and pencil, and without thinking, I just start writing what is bothering me. And and I also know I will tear this apart. It is not for anyone else. I have the idea that I will tear it apart. That means I don't have to mind the grammar, the sentence structure, or how people will read it. Because in our mind, whenever we write, we think someone will read it. How I should read, how it should be written, right? So I write in a way that I'm just writing, and I will tear it apart. And whatever comes to my mind, I write. And then I try to read the problems. And what happens is, then the real problems appear. Many of the times, what is involved, problems plus our commentary, our expectations, our personal stories. This should have been like this, should have been, and I did not like it, all of this. But if we write down, we see the facts. What is the problem? No, then we get a better understanding and a distance from looking the problem at where they are. Actually, tomorrow I will touch upon it.
So we call it root cause analysis. So getting into the root of that. problem.
You don't have to analyze, just write down.
Okay.
Write down, just write down what is troubling you. You will see there is a great sense of detachment comes to you. Yeah. Because sometimes even meditation may not help. Because if it is a ruminating problem, you will be ruminating more in the meditation. It requires a very deep degree of meditative capacity to withdraw, detach yourself. Yeah.